Two dudes watch cartoons. Two dudes watch cartoons. Two dudes watch cartoons. Two dudes watch cartoons. Yeah.
Welcome back to Two Dudes Watch Cartoons, the podcast where two dudes, that's us, watch cartoons. My name is Evan.
And you got to call me Ace. Just kidding. My name is Alex. And today we are covering, this is, I always say the same thing. Today we're covering a good one. I'll keep it real. Today we're covering one. We're covering something. So
We're
today
covering a movie.
We're covering a movie that has premiered. No, I'm giving it a hard time. It has ups and downs. But today we're going to cover Disney's Chicken Little, all the way back from 2005. So I was young when I saw this. And the last time I saw it, I also was young. So I had such fond memories. If I was like, oh, we should do Chicken Little, I haven't seen it, and you watch it and you were like, yeah,
It's a movie.
it was.
Yeah.
And I feel similar. There's definitely some hilarious moments, but overall, I mean, it was a movie, a 2005 movie.
Yeah. So notably about this movie, it's Disney animation. It's not Pixar. I think that's an important distinction.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's also, I believe, I'm looking at the Wikipedia now. It's the 46th animated film produced by the studio, but I believe it's the first fully computer animated feature film from Disney Animation. The caveat is Dinosaur, which came out in 2000, had a little bit of live action in it, but it was mostly computer.
Doesn't count.
What was live action in Dinosaur? I don't know. I don't remember, but we should check it out sometime.
I know. I read that too on the Wikipedia. I was like, what sort of live action was in that movie? I don't recall. But yeah, first fully computer animated. Now, for 2005, I thought the animation was really solid, actually.
For 2005? So this...
Okay. What else is in the time period? What am I comparing to?
Shrek the Third.
No way Shrek the Third came out before 2005. You're telling me they busted 3 Shreks out from 2001 to 2005?
Okay.
I'll give you for sure Shrek is better animation than this, though. And that did come out before this.
Okay. The release date change was also the day before DreamWorks, and so they announced a release date change towards the end of 2005. DreamWorks bumped Shrek the Third back to November 2006, 2007. So at least Shrek 2 was out back then.
Wow, that's crazy to me, but I'll give you that.
Also,
okay,
this movie was bumped back the premiere, and it took over the original slate for Pixar's Cars, which seem worlds apart in terms of animation quality and probably overall quality. The first Cars was pretty good, right? I don't know.
First Cars is good. They lose the plot after the second one. Okay, you've convinced me. I was too high on the animation. Okay, so specifically, when there's a close-up on Chicken Little's face, I just liked the design of his glasses and feathers. I was like, oh yeah, that's looking real good there.
What I'll give you is that it feels very different than most Disney stuff, especially the stuff they landed on in later CGI movies like Tangled and Encanto. I mean, at a glance, my thought animation quality is this looks like Paw Patrol, but I guess that speaks to the amount of improvement or standardization of quality in this sector of animation, I guess.
That's fair. That's fair.
You can find this quality on Nick Jr. now.
Yeah, and I guess if Pixar's, got Toy Story in 1999, and maybe I'm not as impressed. Okay, another thing is this movie is also the final film that Don Knotts appears in before he passes away.
Don Knotts. Remind me of who he is, what he's done.
You don't know? Okay, so Don Knotts in this movie is the mayor. He's the turkey mayor.
Okay.
But, you're going to make me pull up his Wikipedia here, but he's a very famous actor. He was on the Andy Griffith Show, and then a bunch of other old TV shows, of course, I don't recognize. He's a super famous guy, though.
Okay. Pardon my ignorance. I did not know. I apologize for coming in so harsh. This movie is from a long time ago. You probably haven't seen it since then. I don't know that I ever watched the whole thing back then.
You never watched it as a kid.
I don't think so. They might might have watched it in the class once for, I don't know, not for anything specifically.
That honestly sounds like something we did. I don't know why. Like in Novi, I think they were like, all right, we're watching Chicken Little today. So yeah, I had like nostalgia with this movie, and that was what drew me to it. I wasn't like, I didn't see like,
What did you remember? What feelings did it bring up? Or when
as a
you
kid,
thought before watching it again, what was your memory of it?
yeah, before going into it again, my big memory of it is, very Boy Who Cries Wolf. I actually think you could even like say like, oh, you little Chicken Little instead of like a Boy Who Cries Wolf. I actually think they're like, I know Chicken Little, the movie is not as popular, but I think there is like a story. I think this is not based on just like, this is not original property, if that makes sense.
It's based on something.
Yeah, and so I remember The Boy Who Cries Wolf. Distinctly remember the panel falling, on Chicken Little, and then I remember it being a surprise alien invasion movie. Like, it's like this goofy, like, barnyard movie, and then towards the end, you're like, holy crap, these aliens are going to disintegrate the whole town.
Yeah. I remember vaguely the aliens bit, so I think it is based off of a fable, but also not Disney's first time. This is their second adaptation of the fable. Their first was a 1943 adaptation that Wikipedia's words, not mine, call a propaganda cartoon made during World War II. So do with that what you will.
To specify. I am not editorializing here.
It says it's a propaganda cartoon. I wonder what the take. Maybe it's I don't know, Chicken Little yelling about Nazis or something. What would he
oh my
be
God! Is
of?
it like a see something, say something type deal? Like if you see a communist, say something.
It's an anti. So there is a Wikipedia entry for the 1943 film.
Yeah,
it is an
let's
anti-Nazi film showing the evils of mass hysteria, and it's based on the European folktale Henry Penny.
Hold on, the fear of mass hysteria is what it's warning against.
I guess.
Is the propaganda film saying don't believe Chicken Little?
I mean, I can try and quick skim the plot.
No, you're good. I just think about that because the plot of the movie. Well, okay, so actually, let's go back.
The Nazis are coming.
Yeah,
maybe
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe it's that Chicken Little was right about the Nazi scare, or maybe he was early to be alarmist about Hitler's rise in Germany.
Dude, no, hold on.
And people weren't listening to him, but then he takes over and starts.
How is it warning of mass hysteria if he's like trying to start mass hysteria? This guy is falling. The Nazis are coming.
Let's do the third adaptation of Chicken Little, but
what
based on the first one.
Fake news?
We're warning against the rise of fascism in the U.S.
Yeah, good point. Oh my God. I think we got something there. I think there's a plot. I'm like playing it out in my head. I actually think I see where you're going with that. Okay, let's get back to this Chicken Little from 2005, which is only a little bit of propaganda. So no, I'm just kidding. And so the star of the movie, the voice, before I looked it up, I thought it was Sonic. I thought it was Ben, Mr. Ben Schwartz. I was like,
I feel like he would have been in high school at this point.
I was like, he's way too young. But just like the sarcasm in his voice, if that makes sense, while he's being sincere, you can hear the hint of just this sarcastic guy. But so the lead, Chicken Little, is his name Chicken Little Cluck? Because they all call his dad Mr. Cluck.
His name is Ace Cluck. His nickname is Chicken Little.
Wait. His actual name is Ace?
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't just a bit at the end.
No, his name is Ace, but I think either people have given him the nickname Chicken Little. I don't know if it's because of the first scene, the big scare, or his size in relation to his dad. Yeah, I didn't super.
Oh, you know what though? I'm going it back to The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and he was wrong. The Boy Who Cried Wolf, like he wasn't supposed to be crying wolf, because then when the wolf was actually there, no one believed him.
Yes,
that's the lesson. This one, you know what? It's a bit different because Chicken Little the whole time the sky was actually falling.
Yeah. So he was right. I'm still struggling to draw the similarities to World War II, but maybe we'll figure it out.
Where are we getting this propaganda from? Okay.
But have we? So the main character,
Zach Braff, is the voice of Chicken Little. He at the time, I believe, is in like the height of his career. Would you agree? Isn't this got to be Scrubs era?
This has got to be Scrubs era. But also, looking at the rest of the voice cast, I almost think, like, was the pitch, what if we hung an entire movie off the stardom of, like, a TV guy, Zach Braff?
Yeah. What do you mean? There's some others.
There's some other fun ones, but I would say he's... Oh, I'm seeing one way down the list that is really surprising me. Okay, I'm not giving it enough credit. There's some more names in here. That
Joan Cusack, in her own right, is extremely famous.
I only know her from School of Rock. What?
Shameless, but yeah, I mean she was famous before School of Rock. But yeah, she's great. School of Rock. That's how I know her too. Though you beat me to it.
Dan? No. Okay, for a second.
Dan Molina is the fish. He's also like the editor of the movie.
Okay, I was thinking Alfred Molina. I was like, Dr. Octopus?
No,
not the same guy. I was really thrown.
No, he's a nobody. I don't even think he like worked on the movie, but also is not a voice. Fish out of water, like is like the whole time. And then this is probably my favorite voice. Steve Zahn as the runt of the litter. Yeah. Now, he's one that's like really hard to place in things. I know him most recently from the first season of The White Lotus. Do you know what else is this man in? He's so recognizable, though.
Just from looking at Wikipedia, I wouldn't have known any of these, but Stuart Little, is he the voice of Stuart Little?
Or because he's not the dad. Is he the voice? He's the voice. He is totally the voice.
That's great. So Stuart Little, that's 1999. Holy shit.
You know what I recognize him from, weirdly, is Daddy Daycare. He's like the third dad.
Oh. Or for a more dramatic turn, Dallas Buyers Club with Matthew McConaughey.
Whoa.
Also, The Good Dinosaur, which I've never seen. The animated movie.
Is that a Pixar movie?
It's either.
Is it one of like the middle era, like near Onward of Pixar?
Yeah, it might be Pixar.
Like in that era, though. There's a couple of Pixar movies where I was just like, I'm not seeing these in theaters. Not for any reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. What else we got? Amy Sedaris is
she's Foxy Loxy. She is most famous from Princess Carolyn, I'd say.
I was about to say Mando.
Yeah.
That is not what she's from. That's just what I recognize.
She is in Mandalorian.
This is saying Mr. Woolensworth, the teacher in the classroom, who is a sheep, is played by Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I caught that one. It's Xavier.
It's
Charles.
Picard, Charles Xavier. Let me put some respect on his name. Sir Patrick Stewart is voicing an animated sheep who says maybe a couple lines in the beginning of the movie that are mostly just farm animal puns.
Yeah, this movie walked so Zootopia could run. The whole time I was like, man, whoever made Zootopia, this was their favorite movie growing up.
Can you recall which character is named Tina? Because I can't think of who it is.
Someone in class.
Catherine O'Hara from Schitt's Creek.
What?
Kevin McAllister's mom, right?
Yeah. Yeah. She's also on Schitt's Creek. Wait, that's so funny.
Holy shit. Okay, I severely undercut Fred Willard as Melvin. I don't know who Melvin is. Yeah. So many great... Okay. There's a lot of
kids in class. Yeah. One of them is... but wait, is Melvin... No. Who's the porcupine? The porcupine reminded me of Magnitude, where he would just like come in and make like a joke and then leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought I had heard... at the end, they do the movie adaptation of Chicken Little's story, and they have like... they do at the end of the movie, right? They're playing a movie adaptation of it.
The fake movie. Yeah,
the fake movie. Yes, the fake movie.
And the voice of Ace.
I thought it was Patrick Warburton, but there is
Patrick's in it.
Patrick's in it, but it's Adam West is playing Hollywood Chicken Little.
He plays Hollywood Chicken Little Ace. That's where I got the joke. She was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Chicken Little." He goes, "Call me Ace." And I was like, what? That's why I was so confused. Do they make any other mention that his name is actually Ace in the movie?
I think his dad calls him Ace at one point.
Oh, and I'm assuming it was like a nickname, like, "Hey, champ, I want to get to..." All right. I want to get to the plot of this movie because we've touched on it a little. We talked The Boy Who Cried Wolf, the World War II propaganda. You know me. I love a theme, story, a lesson. Now, this was interesting to me because, and I want to see if we can think of any other stories. I feel like our main character didn't learn the lesson in this film. I feel like the town and his dad sort of did. How often do we see the main character went on this journey, but like, what did he learn? How did he grow?
Yes, I agree with you because it is a bit of that, but also like part of the thing that I realized through this movie is like nothing real, like I Chicken Little doesn't really make any decisions in this movie. Like things just happen, and then they're either validated or not validated by the townspeople. And like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not phrasing it correct, but there's this weird thing where it's like things just happen, and it's like not because of anything that he's choosing to do or not. I don't know.
The sky is falling, and he's. I mean, what I think was an interesting creative decision. We're gonna get into like the real ethics and morals of this Chicken Little movie. Is we're almost led to believe that he was crazy in the first scene where the sky fell. Oh, it was just an acorn, everybody. I'm so embarrassed. Sorry. Man, the dad made me so angry when he publicly was like, this is so embarrassing, everyone. I'm so sorry. My kid's an idiot. Because we never see that the sky actually did fall on him. Oh, and I'm just now getting, wow, okay, I'm piecing things together. The aliens come every year, and that's why I used to, as a kid, I thought they were living in some sort of like dome. Like I thought the whole sky
Because the thing cracks at the end.
Yes. I thought the whole sky was these plates and that there was aliens living up there. I didn't realize they were like tourists coming, and it's like a like a Tony Stark hollow ship or whatever. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It hadn't occurred to me, but I mean that definitely is the creative choice. Is that they sort of gaslight you in the beginning by
This movie is
making him seem
gaslighting
wrong.
before it became a popular term. Because the
Yeah.
dad's like, you didn't see anything.
I think maybe that's why it is hard to root for Chicken Little, is because they immediately discredit him and they don't really try or do much to endear you to this character who is the protagonist of this movie. And so it's just like, oh, he's just kind of the town fool, like bumbling little nerd.
Yeah, man, and it's rough because his dad just like really shuts him down. I did think it was weird. His dad drove him to the school bus stop, and yet he still had, like, I don't know. It was an
get on the
interesting dynamic, and then he missed the bus. And yeah, he's the town outcast fool. Yeah, he's the town fool, if you will. And the whole montage. What I realized with this movie too is there's a lot of visual humor, like gags. Like
Sure.
it was not, the script was not like beaming with wit or brevity. There was a lot of animal humor, but not like Zootopia where they like really, really capitalize on that animal humor almost.
I haven't seen Zootopia, so.
You know
Are you
what?
saying it's a
I
much
think,
better execution of this sort of animal town world?
where the animal puns and jokes and like the fish helmet, he needed the water. Well, that is like kind of secondary and background to the alien invasion. That is like what Zootopia leans really into, is all of these animals being, humanistic, and what animal characteristics would carry over into their human-esque lives.
Yeah.
So, if you enjoy animal puns, definitely check out Zootopia.
This one's for you. What was an interesting choice to me starting the movie? So it like stops and starts so many times in the beginning. There are like 3 intros. Was it just for the sake of a joke? Like the narrator, who's his dad, is like, once upon a time. No, we've heard that. This is a storybook. No.
The storybook was clearly a Shrek diss. Like
Yeah.
the rest of those were Disney properties, but they took one. They were like storybook. No.
For sure, but I wonder if that's taking cues from, wasn't it Lilo and Stitch, where the marketing promotions had like Stitch crash landing, a bunch of other Disney
In
properties
all
or
the
whatever.
Disney. Interesting. Disney, because when was Lilo and Stitch? We should probably look that up.
2000, I want to say it was 2D.
I think
So yeah, before they started transitioning to
I
CGI.
think that you are kind of onto something where they are trying to like really break their mold, if you will, their image.
Probably
They
taking
want
cues
to.
from Shrek as well.
I
If Shrek 2's
totally
out now.
agree.
Yeah.
I think the combination of like Pixar's success and Shrek. Shrek is like the counterculture of these kid movies. And Lilo and Stitch came out in 2002. So this is like probably one of their next movies after Lilo and Stitch. I
Yeah.
think you hit the nail on the head as to what Disney's like thinking and feeling with this introduction. It was a dumb bit though. Maybe I feel like rule of threes, like don't go over 3.
Yeah. Well, they do that, and then is it him doing the mass hysteria bit?
Yeah.
Introduces you to the character, and then intro montage set to, I think it's Bare Naked Ladies, like his experience in school, him getting picked on, whatever. Like, there's these 3 chunks of beginning exposition that it feels clunky, and they're clearly going through an identity crisis because by look and by storytelling feel, this seems more akin to like something you would get out of Nickelodeon. Like, this is what I assume Paws of Fury is like. This movie.
This reminds me of like Barnyard with the cow. And
Yeah.
I totally get what you're saying. This does feel like a Nickelodeon-esque movie, but that's probably who they're trying to appeal to. If you think about it, Disney for years had a corner on this kids market, and they could just make whatever they want because they were like the only one making these huge cartoons, these movies, these animated movies. Now you have Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. It's reshaping how kids watch these cartoons and what they're watching. And so they don't want to watch Sleeping Beauty or Beauty and the Beast anymore. They want something with some humor, some wit, some zing. I totally think you're onto something here, that this is the result of a bit of an identity crisis for Disney.
Yeah. And well, so we're ragging on it, but it did. So it was made on a budget of 150 million, made 314.4 million. So
I saw it in theaters.
yeah,
I was
made
one
its
of those
money back.
ticket buyers.
Also, incredible. The runtime is 81 minutes, but it feels so much longer.
I was going to say, so I watched it just this morning, which was a mistake. Evan was like, when do you want to watch it? And I go, 1 hour and 26 minutes. Or he goes, when do you want to start recording? I go, we'll start in 1 hour and 26 minutes. But I normally, every time we have like a short runtime, I'm like, yes, bring this back. I agree with you. This felt longer than an hour and a half somehow.
Somehow, I watched this movie twice because the first time I was like half paying attention, and then I watched it again yesterday and fell asleep towards the end. Like, I don't know.
Lord have mercy on you. I couldn't have
81
watched it
minutes.
twice.
It's 81, and like that's because it could not hold my attention, unfortunately.
I think, this is something we try to avoid here because we do talk strictly about cartoons. I do think this is like very geared towards children. I think
yeah.
kids would love this. I think I loved it as a kid. I think I was like all about it. I remember I loved Fish Out of Water. And like when rewatching, that was one of the things I was like, I got to remember why I love Fish Out of Water. Rewatching it back, he barely do anything. Like, why was I so obsessed with this fish out of water?
Does he speak? He doesn't have line. He just
has like a
"Bloop, bloop, bloop."
line in the Hollywood film of what happens. Of Chicken Little, the fake fish has a line like he's Picard, or like no, not Picard. Like he's Spock.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I again, it feels to me like a Nickelodeon thing. Like I get like Jimmy Neutron vibes from this whole movie.
Oh, great comparison. I really feel so Jimmy Neutron-esque.
Yeah.
Sci-fi. Like, that's what I'm saying is this was like 2 separate movies. It was like a Zootopia, and then it turned into a Jimmy Neutron. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
the sci-fi element of it was so left field. Like, if you hadn't watched a trailer for this movie, I bet you'd be like, aliens? The fuck?
And I think specifically Run to the Litter, the pig character, kind of reminds me of not Sheen. Who's the other one?
Carl.
Yeah. We should cover the Jimmy Neutron movie, which
We should.
I remember. I think I saw it in theaters. I remember loving that movie for some reason.
Jimmy Neutron's one of the few things that like it was a movie first, and then it morphed into like a highly successful TV show for them.
I totally forgot. That's wild.
Yeah.
They did crossovers
And,
with Fairly Odd Parents. That shit was
Hell
awesome.
yeah, it did. Yeah. Jimmy and Timmy Power Hour. They had multiple crossovers.
The Nick CU.
They were doing it before Marvel could even dream. Okay, so this movie, though, I mean, the plot is the sky falls, and it's like this panel from an alien ship, invisibility cloaking, real high tech shit that these farm animals are not going to comprehend, and it hits him on the head, and no one fucking believes him. Were you frustrated at all?
No, because they don't endear you to the character. Yeah, I don't care.
You just weren't invested at all. I got frustrated for Chicken Little Ace. Excuse me. I would be so pissed if you had a cool name like Ace and your whole town was just like, nah, you're Chicken Little.
I don't know. And maybe so like his whole emotional arc for the first third of the movie is him getting on the baseball team and sort of dealing with the repercussions. Go ahead.
This was the biggest sin of this movie. The most egregious thing I think that happened. We had a sad time, sad sack montage. No one believes me. Hit music playing montage.
BNL.
One line of, I think I'm going to join the baseball team. And his dad's like, oh my God, really? You think that's a good idea? His dad's a dick. And then montage of him playing baseball. Yeah. I was like, I've never seen a movie go from one montage to another montage like this. And I was like, man, they're chomping at the bit. They were like, you have to hit an hour, 30 minutes.
Heavy reliance on montage. Also in musical sequence, there's it's those two that are like in your face montage. And then there's a scene where he's calling what's her name? Mallory, the duck.
Yeah.
They're singing Spice Girls. Tell me what you want, there's it's like 30 seconds to a minute, that sequence, and then they pick up the phone. No reason for that.
Need the whole
why is that there? It's strictly so they can put Spice Girls on the soundtrack for this movie. Like heavy reliance. And then there's even a seminal sequence of I Will Survive.
Yeah.
Which, did they pluck that right from Shrek 2? Like, come on, guys, come on.
So, first off, I'll never take any Spice Girls slander. How dare you?
I'm all for it, but I'm saying that's
needed to be a 3-minute song. They needed to, and it is funny on the soundtrack. It says "Wannabe." Yeah, it says "Wannabe," and it's sung by Joan Cusack and Steve Zahn. So I thought that was pretty funny. And you have it about right. It is 50 seconds long that they sing. So yeah, I get what you mean. Like the joke landed before then. And I did love, though, loving show tunes. Like at the end, his mom was like, no more Streisand for you. He's like, Mom, I love Barbara.
So the first song is Bare Naked Ladies. Is there another Bare Naked Ladies song?
I felt like there was 2 Bare Naked Ladies songs, but it does not look like it. Yeah, there's a Bare Naked Ladies song, though. Ready for this one? There's a Cheetah Girls song that they slipped in here. Shake a Tail Feather.
Oh.
Another Disney original, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Cheetah Girls is a Disney movie, but I know people that would go feral if they heard a Cheetah Girls song.
It's what the song I was thinking. It's not Bare Naked Ladies. It's REM. It's the end of the world as we know it. That is... makes me sound so dumb.
Look, we just covered Mario. And one of the complaints was the insertion of popular hits music. Now, I'm not saying it's all right because Chicken Little did it, but we've been doing it for so long. Like, it's so ingrained in these, like, blockbuster animated movies. What do you think about it? Are you pro, like, recognizable song or no?
I think it depends on the use and like how heavy-handed it is. Like compared to this movie, Mario Brothers seems like tame, disciplined, like the most restrained person in the world, like the most thoughtful, tasteful use of popular music. It's heavy-handed in this.
Man, we didn't even they sneak in Ain't No Mountain High Enough and Don't Go Breaking My Heart, which you could argue are like 2 of the most like sing-alongable songs of all time. And you know what? That is so, I'm just now realizing because the time it took from us to finish the movie to this, I've been singing Don't Go Breaking My Heart, and it is literally so it gets stuck in my head and I think about the fucking cast of the movie singing it at the end credits. I see. I caught you, Disney. Now I get why you do that.
Yeah, they know
And
what
it's
they're
got
doing.
We Are the Champions by Queen. These are, I'm not kidding, these are like the most sing-alongable songs of all time.
Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Also famously used in, I don't know if famously is the right word, but Ella Enchanted, which came out 2004. These
Whoa.
people are just borrowing each other's soundtracks. Anne Hathaway's in Ella Enchanted, if you don't recall.
Interesting. No, I didn't. Yeah, there's the Cheetah Girls one. That's like funny. That's like buying from themselves. So the music though, yeah, I agree. But I didn't like when it was playing over a montage, but I'll be honest, I liked it more when they were like in universe singing it, like it was a real song.
Sure. This movie uses pop music almost to the extent of something like Sing, but that's the premise of Sing. Like, this has no reason to be doing that.
Yeah, but you know with Sing they're working backwards. They were like, how do we
yeah.
fit 20 of the most popular
true.
all-time songs into a movie? And they're like, have them sing it. Like,
Yeah. How do we fit all of this and an allegory for Nazi hysteria into Chicken Little?
get Zach Braff on the phone right now.
Yeah. So another reason you can tell, this movie is light on emotional arc because they very plainly state the trajectory that Chicken Little's going to go on. Maybe a third of the way into the movie,
Talk to your dad.
Yeah, Mallory's like, talk to your dad. I think she's literally holding a textbook and is like, closure is good or something like that.
Yeah. She's no, and it's so funny because as an adult, it's like, how obvious. Come on, Chicken Little. Talk it out. Yeah. But to be fair, I actually think it's on his dad more than anything. And that's why that's where I struggle with this movie is all the conflict and resolution revolves in the dad. He's causing the problems by, I don't believe you, son. You're embarrassing me and your family and your dead mother. And then it revolves around him being like, I believe you. You were telling the truth. That's the other part is like, he didn't believe him off of just what he said. He really only believed Chicken Little when he saw it with his own two peepers.
How explicit are they with telling you that the mom has passed? I don't like, if I'm trying to recall, like I only pick it up from context clues. Like,
I mean, there's a scene where after Chicken Little's not believed by the whole town again, he goes up to his room, sad sack, and the dad sees like a family photo and he was like, you would know what to do, or like, I wish you were here, or something along those lines.
I was just missing it, or I
also was thinking, and it's so funny because this is just like a stupid kids movie, but I was like thinking of, because we covered the Iron Giant, like the different portrayal of single mothers versus single fathers in like probably all media, but specifically the cartoons that we're watching. Single mothers, the struggle is always working, like making ends meet, because typical gender roles, that's not the woman doesn't have to earn them, that's the man's job. So if she's alone, her problem becomes working, making money. That's the hard thing to do. Whereas when it's a single father, the problem is always connecting with the kid.
Wow.
How do you like that?
Code. Yeah, you've cracked the code. Also, yeah, in the emotional climax of the movie when him and Chicken Little are having the moment, right before I was like, oh, I bet the dad's going to say something along the lines of, your mother was always better than this. And he goes, your mom was always good at this stuff. I was like, God, this is like a paint by numbers.
It's predictable.
Family film. Yeah.
While we're crapping on it, there are a lot of funny moments. Do you have any moment you thought stood out to you, like humor wise? We've been like 30 minutes ragging on this movie hard. The fans are all like, oh, I really like Chicken Little. I enjoyed it. I don't know it's going to be anything I revisit anytime soon, but I am glad I watched it. There's a lot of funny moments. Is that a good description?
Nostrils.
Yeah.
I feel like there may have been one or two moments where a joke stuck out to me, not enough for me to recall or write it down. Like the joke telling, the visual gags, none of it fit seamlessly into the story. Like it's all disjointed. It just felt like they were doing like a look here and like kind of taking you along and trying to jam in whatever entertainment they could get out of you. So yeah, watching it twice, I guess, is why things seem out of place and it, like the story feels disjointed. I don't know. I don't have a favorite moment that I can think of.
I can see that. I would say early on, the moment where I was like, oh, I remember now, this movie is pretty funny, has to be when they're playing dodgeball and the gym coach goes, all right, 2 teams, cool kids versus the uncool kids. And then I was like, that's pretty classic. But then they're doing it and Fish out, and Mallard's like, just be like Fish. And he's like doing these cool dance moves to avoid all the things. And then the pig like tries to dance also, but just gets hit like as he's dancing the whole. I was like, okay, this is a pretty funny movie. I was like, okay, I'm not going to give it like funniest movie of all time award. But like I said, I was snickering.
Entertainment value, you could probably cap it at like 7 or 8. They'll have a good time with this.
Oh, age-wise, I thought you meant out of 10. And I was like, whoa, you just gave this a 7 or an 8 out of 10? Yeah, this is for 7 or 8-year-olds out of like 100 age-wise. Yeah.
This podcast is supported by Lumina. Lumina is an AI-powered webcam that makes you look good on every video call. 4K resolution, adaptive color correction, autofocus and bokeh so you get that nice blur in the background, and of course my favorite feature, the AI cameraman that follows you around the frame to keep you centered at all times. Zhuzh up your video calls and stop looking like dog doo-doo with Lumina. You can use promo code 2dudes for 10% off your purchase at getlumina.com. That's code TWO dudes at getlumina.com. Back to the podcast.
2 dudes watch cartoons.
So the critical response for it, I think this is saying a 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see.
36. Okay, is this better or worse than Ant-Man and the Quantumania?
I still have not seen Ant-Man.
Oh, you haven't even seen it? Okay. Is this better or worse than Thor: Love and Thunder?
Worse, I would say.
That's a benchmark. Okay.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
So Rotten Tomatoes on the tomato meter, 36%. Audience score, 47%.
Oh.
So it doesn't clear a 50% hurdle either way. But also, it's from 2005. Were people on the internet using Rotten Tomatoes?
People weren't rating this in real time.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's bad, though. So you're saying you're more likely to rewatch Thor: Love and Thunder than you would be to rewatch this?
Yeah, I think so. But, you know, maybe I'm biased that
if I had a
humor is
child,
little more
I feel
towards-
like this is something I would show them.
This is better, certainly better than Luck. That's what I kept coming back to is Luck. It's similarly just a random assortment of things that happen.
It's just scenes.
Yeah, just scenes, just things. But this, you know, there's actually some plot structure there. Some of the jokes land.
This is better than Luck.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So I'll give it that. But it's one of the worser things we watched, I would say.
Yeah.
It's down there.
It's down there. It's definitely down there. I think what's hard for me is, like I said, I remember having such a fond memory. I think I even had like a fish out of water, like little figurine, maybe from like McDonald's, you know what I mean? Not like a whole action figure, but like a little toy. Yeah. And I fucking love that guy. But yeah, I mean, upon rewatch, I mean, there's probably a reason I haven't seen it since I was like 5 years old. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, the movie is so, they don't believe him. He plays baseball. He does terrible. He gets a home run. The sky falls on him again. The whole town hates him again. His dad can't stand him. Like, it's so bad. And then once the aliens actually invade, they're all like, man, you were right. Is that the allegory? Is that a Poland? Like the Nazis invading Poland?
No. All right. Next episode. Chicken Little, 1943.
I don't understand how. And okay, so forgetting the World War II propaganda film, like I said, I really, really think the issue is no one actually believes Chicken Little until they see it with their eyes. There's never a moment of the dad being like, you know what? Because I love you and you're my son, I'm going to take your word for it.
Yes. And
that's what it needed.
Because the viewer also doesn't know until halfway through the movie.
Because we also, we are with the town.
Like,
we don't believe Chicken Little until we see it with our eyes. That's fucked up, Disney. Don't put us on the town side.
They really shot themselves in the foot with that one.
This is what I'm saying is that was, so like, the humor, like you said, the humor, the background gags, they felt disjointed, combobulated, almost like a writer came through and like added them in the bare bones. Like they had a fucking 60-minute movie and they were like, we need to add more movie to this. So they added all those jokes, but that's what the plot is missing. I think if the plot, like it would be a solid film if there was like the dad not still knowing anything, being like, okay, I'm going to come with you to this because I do believe you. I'm sorry I doubted you for so long.
Yeah.
After they have their closure.
This movie made me think, because this has been sort of in the headlines recently, is the Writers Guild of America are gearing up for a strike. They're in negotiations with Hollywood currently.
Oh my God, wait, back then? This is...
No,
but
it did make me think. I was like, was this during the writers' strike? But no, that was 07, 08.
You're like, this has to be a writer's strike movie.
This is in that neighborhood, right? Like, but no, it preceded that by a couple of years. So
that's funny as fuck. Yeah, I mean, like I said, aliens come, they leave their baby. This is the other thing, is the aliens like come and go and then come back. Just simplify it. I don't know. Like, so then, but they leave their baby and these fucking aliens are mowing down. Like, that's the other thing, is the aliens almost feel out of place in the movie. Their robotic suits with their Dr. Octopus roaming around. I was like, damn, this is a totally different movie than we were watching before.
It almost becomes a Last of Us, where Chicken Little has to to protect the
People
child.
are getting disintegrated.
It's Mandalorian, and he has to return the baby to its parents. Also, the adult aliens look like sperm cells, or they're little floaty vessels. I don't know. Weird choices all around.
The aliens, to me, when they're not in their mechanical suits, just look like, do you remember those little troll dolls? It just looks like their hair.
The hair.
That's all it is. It's just the hair with 3 eyes. So if you haven't seen the movie, you now know exactly what the aliens look like. Like, I'm not even kidding. They ripped off the hair of that troll doll, slapped 3 eyes on it, and they're like, this is our alien.
Yeah.
So closing thoughts? I mean, I don't know. Like, I've got Letterboxd up here, and I'm starting to realize people hate this fucking movie. So I mean, I think we've covered like most of the juice. You know what I mean? Like in this, what your closing thoughts on the movie before we move into the reviews?
This is an interesting case study in what happens when Disney has an identity of crisis. Because this isn't even a box office flop necessarily. Like, it made back its gross. They've had worse revenue-wise flops in recent years, like Lightyear and Strange World. But those are much better movies in comparison to this.
I was about to say, Strange World's better than this.
Oh yeah, by far. I'm saying, like, this is one of their rare failures, in my opinion. Like, obviously Lightyear and Strange World didn't do great numbers, but
they're
I
good
think those are good
movies.
movies. Yeah, those are fine, good movies.
Interesting.
And this is just so out of left field for them. It feels, I don't know, it's bizarre, and for that reason, it's interesting to revisit it.
What I think is interesting in the landscape, now that you're bringing this up, with my closing thoughts, I'll use this. This movie I had such a fond memory of, and it just only slightly holds up. There's not a whole lot to go on here. With this movie, I think it's really interesting in the age of streaming. I think the reason we are so hypercritical of this is we would never see a movie like this now. We would never see a movie like this made. What, like, is there a streaming service you think is going to put out something like this?
Yeah, I think it would be just a straight to streaming. Like, Netflix has a bunch of random shit they've made that nobody watches.
So then think about this. That's what I'm saying then, is that the age we live in, is this would be like such a commercial failure. They wouldn't release it in theaters. This made its money back in 2005. Disney was like, like, we did it. We suckered them. Like, they were like, phew, we got another one by them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just aren't seeing movies like this nowadays. And if we are, it's not something that's going to have, trailers a whole year. Like, it's not going to have Zach Braff. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that movies like this are like Luck. If we're going to compare it to Luck, an animated movie that was released on streaming, it didn't have nearly the same cast. You know what I mean? Like back then, this low budget, shitty animated movie, Zach Braff and Joan Cusack were like, yeah, this is my next film.
This is their star vehicle. I was going to say, it speaks volumes that there isn't a sequel, but I had to quick fact check, and I'm wrong.
There is.
There's a Chicken Little 2. Looks to be 2D animated, perhaps. That was released June 4th, 2021.
21?
Yeah.
They pulled the Avatar? They waited over 15 years for a sequel?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can. Let's give the audience a real show here. This is only for the YouTube watchers and the Spotify video watchers right now. Let's see. What do you got here, Evan?
Like, this looks it's 2D animated, perhaps.
But in all the promotional art looks so different. Is Fish Out of Water a girl?
They've gone.
Look at all of these. Oh my god.
What is?
We can't hear the sound, but yeah, it looks terrible. Oh my god. I mean, it looks like a children's book. In all honesty. So
is this even it? I can't verify.
I don't know. You have it. It says official Disney UK. I don't even like. Okay, Adam West was in this movie. Like someone read this script and was like, "Yeah, Adam, you need to do this role." Or I don't know. Like I guess he's on Family Guy too. Maybe he doesn't take it too seriously anymore. But like,
yeah,
it's just wild to me. I really think we would never see another movie like this made today. I don't see it happening anymore. It doesn't get greenlit.
Yeah, and not a real theatrical sequel release.
Let's move over to Letterboxd. Let's hear what the people have to say. Do you have any up, or do you want me to start?
Yeah, I got one. The first one says 1 star. Chicken Little is a lot like Evangelion, which is an anime mecha. If you think about it, main protagonist is a loser nobody likes. 2, his dad hates him. 3, the alien invasion at the end is like third impact. All right.
I can see it. 1 star though they gave it. Okay. I have another 1 star. It just says ha 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 ha. Fuck this movie. Ha 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 ha. And you know what, James? I understand why. This one, 2.5 stars. #believe chickens. Now, just realizing as a spoof on believe women, but you gotta believe.
This one says 3 stars. They made the pig character gay, but they couldn't say he was gay, so they just had him do karaoke and gave him a Barbra Streisand collection. That's pretty good.
I missed it. Yeah, they did, and that was before Disney was on a war. Now they're so. So we always talk about this. We did it with Strange World. Like, it's always Disney's first openly gay character. Like, Disney loves the 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the being supportive to the LGBT community. They are literally in a war with Ron DeSantis right now. I have a feeling they are going to go full gay. Disney's going so gay in the next year. I'm calling it.
Let's go.
You watch.
Full gay. Yeah. We don't need Chicken Little. We need Run to the Litter.
Yes, thank you. Give us Run.
Sequel.
Yeah. Okay. This one says 1 star. Thanos is a better father than Buck Cluck. And I think I agree. He cried when he had to kill Gamora. I don't know, Buck Cluck would. He'd be like, this is so embarrassing. I can't believe my son put me in this situation. I guess I have to do it.
So, yeah, mixed to bad reviews of this movie mostly.
I'm looking for a good one. Here's 4 stars. Can you believe the scene where Abby Mallard and Runt the pig are jamming out to Wannabe by the Spice Girls invented cinema? So this is just sarcastic. Doink, doink to doink. I should have known was not a serious. Look, I love the Spice Girls. Love them. I think that should have been double the scene, but it's not enough to make this a 4-star movie.
You can't prop your movie up on that. It's the thing,
on a 50-second.
I think they were trying to do.
This one, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it says 2 stars. Nostalgia watch for me. Good, but good God, this does not hold up. Yeah, the weird Boy Who Cried Wolf story really has no concept on its own. And that's what I'm saying is, like, no one learned. They didn't do it right. Like, this, the dad was like, I guess I got to believe chicken now.
Also, now it occurred to me, has any other Disney movie used contemporary pop music like that? I can't.
Yeah, I think
Isn't it normally?
I mean, you're testing me now, but Lilo and Stitch maybe didn't.
Okay. They
I
used
don't
like
know.
Elvis, but I think that was like a
Yeah,
Hawaii.
I don't think it's unheard of, if I'm being honest, but I don't know we've seen a movie that like relied on it this much. Now you got me thinking. Because Pixar really
this
doesn't
one-
do that. Well, no, Pixar. What are we talking about? Cars. They're about to have like the
Okay.
number one country song
Sure.
of all time. That Cars
What is
jump
a
starts.
I used to jam to that. all the
Exactly.
time.
Evan, you and I are two of the most country hating song, like, and that is a jam. I can sing every
Yeah.
single word to that song.
You know what? Life is a highway. I'm like 3 or 4 pages into the letter star reviews. This one says 3 stars. Too many people hate on this film. It's my girlfriend's dog's favorite movie. It's pretty good. They roped me in with that one. That
You
landed.
come into my house and say Chicken Little is a bad movie? Get the fuck out. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come in and probably call it a bad movie.
What would you give it on star
Moment of
rating?
truth. It's probably my lowest one I think I've given. I'm gonna give it 2 stars.
Oh, yeah, I'm at a 2 star. Just because
Yeah.
1 star I feel like I would reserve for like something like Luck, and it's not that bad. But
It's not as bad as Luck, but it's not as good as Strange World. I think it's somewhere it's closer to the Luck
Somewhere
on the
in
scale, though, if I'm being honest. So, like Strange World for the horrible mess it was, I blame fucking Disney for not promoting it. I really think that's all it was. It's a solid film. I know we had problems with it, and we joked about it, but like it was a solid film. It had way more like story, had way more heart than this one. This to me, oh my God, wait, I think I just summed it up. This is like when capitalism makes a movie. They're like, this was like the joke of like the algorithm. What do people want to see in a movie? Like, let's have an AI computer put together a movie. They were like, Zach Braff plays Chicken Little and Wannabe is sung. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. There's just something not human. There's no heart to it.
I agree. Is this the first time we've landed on the same star rating? It's got to be.
It probably is, in all honesty. We always, I'm a 5-star McGee over here, but yeah, we're in agreement. Like, it's bad. It needs to be on the bad end, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
That's probably the best. There's my closing thoughts. It's bad, but it's not terrible. Like when
It's not
another
the worst
funny
thing
bit.
we've ever watched on the podcast.
It's not
but
the
it's
worst thing we've
close.
ever watched. Like a funny bit, and it's overlooked, is like, I feel like that's such like that politician, that mayor, he's such a turkey. And so they made him a turkey who can only read off cue cards. It was real funny when Chicken Little was like on the thing and they're like, what is it, Chicken Little? And he's like, I did it. And then the mayor like reads it like bit for bit. I was like, okay, that's pretty funny.
I think if this were when my kid is of age to watch and choose movies like this. Also, I guess this is breaking the news.
You
on the pod.
can't do that, Evan. You said it so casually. I've been waiting, motherfucker. You son of a bitch. Go ahead. Do it now, I guess.
Yeah. When my child is of age to choose movies, and if this is one of the options, I might try and steer him towards something else. That's where this lands for me.
You're going to steer them away. So, fuck you. For anyone that doesn't follow Evan on Instagram, he's having his own Chicken Little.
Yeah, Haley and I are expecting, which is very exciting. We're very,
Congrats.
very excited about it.
So, spoilers, I knew before everyone else did. I texted Evan and I said, when we announce it on the pod, or no, I didn't even say that.
No,
I said,
you just said
"Can-"
boss baby. That's all you said.
Is that all I said?
I'm pretty sure you said
I
something
think I
like,
just said boss baby ? Evan goes, what are you referring to? And I go, boss baby for the pod when it's time. And he didn't understand at all. And eventually he's like, yeah, sure, I guess. And I was like, you're not getting what I'm saying. I wanted to do boss baby. And then at the end, he could be like, I'm having my own boss baby.
Which, I mean, there's still time. I can cut this whole bit out. We can cover boss baby next. That'd
I
probably
think Chicken
be
Little's perfect.
Yeah. Boss Baby would be an interesting one. There are so many of those random like franchises that never have delved into that we could.
It's flown completely over
A lot
my
of
head.
DreamWorks stuff.
Is Alec Baldwin boss baby?
Yeah, Boss Baby. No more sequels because Boss Baby shut. killed someone.
Boss Baby killed someone on set. Okay.
So personal news aside, maybe we should dig into some other
Congrats
headlines.
to Evan and
Thank you.
Haley. I'm so excited for you, and I'm sure
Thank
all
you.
of our listeners are. We just totally
Yeah.
glossed over that. It's a huge thing. I'm super excited for you. And I'm gonna be honest. I think it's gonna take Two Dudes Watch Cartoons to the next level. I really is. I really think it is. We're gonna have like such an unbiased front row seat to what we
The
need to
kids movie.
cover.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited to eventually have a reason to watch Bluey. I've heard a lot of good things about Bluey from a lot of parents and people that are not parents. So I'm
I've seen
excited to
clips,
dive into
dude.
that.
It looks good. So we'll save it for when the Boss Baby gets here. But I'm excited.
We're very pumped. And now I have someone who has to go to animated movies with me.
Yes. Now Haley can't say no. Oh, that's the best. I didn't even think about that one.
She did volunteer to go to Mario with me. She was a good sport, and she really did enjoy
Wow.
Mario, which can't blame her. It's
I
a great
couldn't get
movie.
Nikki to go. She said it's Mario or Flash. You get one. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess let's go to Flash.
Let's do some news. There's a lot of
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff
There's
to
a lot
cover.
of news. We haven't covered news in a bit, but what do you got? Do you have something up? Because I don't. Oh, I got one. I don't know if this is news. It's not confirmed. I'm not going to say it. Cut that out.
Can you just tell me what it's going to be?
I was going to say, yeah. Well, Mila Kunis is in talks to play the Thing in the
Was
Fantastic
that
Four.
real?
Yes.
No, that's the,
Yes, it is because it's just a voice. They're going to gender swap the Thing.
okay. Interesting.
We can keep this. This is news. Then there is talks that Mila Kunis is going to play the Thing in the Fantastic Four. What do you think about that?
Okay, you sent me this Twitter. Have you seen more than that one tweet? Because I don't.
Yes.
That was just some rant. Okay.
Search Mila. Yes, on Twitter. There's many people saying she's in talks to do it.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't mind. I think it would be fun. I love Mila Kunis also, so it's kind of like, whoa, what a weird role for her to play, but like cool. But not that I have an issue. The only issue is the fans are gonna fucking just like revolt review.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't even. I don't want to go through that.
I do vaguely remember. I feel like there's like some paparazzi photo of Mila Kunis sitting down with like some producer connected to Marvel or something, and so people were speculating maybe she was going to play Sue Storm.
That was what they all thought, and now all the stories have changed that she's in talks to play the Thing. I wish I could make this up, but she really is.
All right, interesting.
I saw several tweets. It wasn't just one, because then that's a joke. Someone's making a joke.
Yeah.
But no. Well, whatever. Let's maybe news. We're not here to speculate. I got some. You got one, or you want to go?
I got two. There is a Kung Fu Panda 4 in the works, and the premise is Poe is trying to find a replacement for the role of the Dragon Warrior. I wonder if Super Mario Bros. Has reinvigorated interest in Jack Black and this franchise, because it's been a while.
I don't know. He's awesome though. Like I'm obsessed with Jack Black.
Yes.
So I hope that's the case. That would be so great because he's a great live actor and a great voice actor.
And Kung Fu Panda's great.
Yeah, it's something we should cover at one point. It's
I don't
really,
know if
really
I've
good.
seen 3.
I don't think I've seen. I don't know. I've seen 3 or maybe I don't know. I've seen 2. I know I've seen the first one a bunch, but
the first one's fucking great.
yeah, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. It's got Seth Rogen, Angelina Jolie. Yeah, we should check that out.
Jackie Chan. Holy shit.
Yeah. It's got a great cast.
Should we do that when we get back?
Probably. Maybe that's the next thing we're going to do here.
Send it. All right.
Okay, you got another one you said? Go ahead.
Yes. Totally Spies will officially return to Cartoon Network for season 7 in 2024. I never really watched it through as a series, but I would catch episodes here and there when I was a kid. So
I
that's
caught
exciting.
a number of episodes. So that's exciting. And what I like about this is it's not a reboot. They're saying this is season 7. I think if you're going to reboot something like that, don't start I think the Powerpuff Girls. They started over. They did it from the beginning. Just continue it. Like we were all there. You're not capturing a new audience by any means. Maybe, I don't know. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was, like I said, I really like that they're going for the season 7 instead of we're starting it over. I got another one.
Go for
There's a new movie coming out called Chicken Run, a new Chicken Run movie, Dawn of
Chicken
the
Run
Nugget.
2.
Chicken Run 2, yes, excuse me. Dawn of the Nugget.
Yeah.
And it's got Zachary Levi, Bella Ramsey. It's got like a very star-studded cast. Did the first Chicken Run movie have a star-studded cast like that?
Mel Gibson was the main.
So,
the
I mean,
male
he's
lead.
famous, though. Yeah.
But
Infamous.
otherwise, who's the Harry Potter Defense of the Dark Arts Umbridge? Umbridge is a character in this, but
Yeah, that's her name. So Netflix has a new Chicken Run movie. Oh, and I scroll up here a little here. Netflix also has a SpongeBob movie about Sandy Cheeks saving Bikini Bottom. The only issue I have with this is the creator, Steven Hillenberger, was like, no, we're never doing spinoffs. We're never doing movies. And he died. And then Nickelodeon was like, okay, I guess we're doing it.
Let's take
It's
all your
literally
IP.
like it's like the meme of Mr. Krabs when he's like, am I really going to defile this grave for money? Of course I am. And then he starts digging. It's literally the real life meme of that. It's insane. And I mean, well, they have more than just this isn't the first offense. They've been doing it. I just still think it's like, how are you going to go against a dead man's wishes? I don't know. That feels wrong to me.
By laughing all the way to the bank, I guess. I don't know.
I wish I had that SpongeBob laugh. I'm so close. How's he do it?
Tom Kenny, I don't know. He's a genius.
He's
Two quick ones. Andy Samberg in the new Spider-Verse movie will voice
Can't
Ben Reilly.
Can't wait. Who's Ben Reilly, though? Is that Uncle Ben?
No, it's perhaps a deep cut for Spider-Man. It's nothing that's ever been explored in the movies so far, but there's a whole arc where Peter Parker gets cloned. And I think this was in the 90s, maybe early 2000s, and the clone's name is Ben Reilly. And Peter Parker during that time doesn't know whether he is the original or not, and so they like...
Spooky.
Yeah, but Ben Reilly is a cool to see that character coming to the
I love
big
Andy
screen.
Samberg, so...
And Andy Samberg, obviously great talent. There's an animated Transformers movie coming up. It's a Transformers origin movie called Transformers 1. Here's the voice cast. Optimus Prime, Chris Hemsworth. Megatron, Brian Tyree Henry.
Love it.
I don't know who this character is. Alita, but voiced by Scarlett Johansson. Bumblebee, Michael Keegan-Key. Sentinel Prime, John Hamm. And Alpha Trion, Lawrence Fishburne. I probably could have just read the celebrity names because I don't know who any of those are besides Optimus Prime and Megatron. But
I used to love the Transformer cartoon back in the day. So this is pretty exciting. Some reason the live action movies kind of lost me.
sure.
Maybe I'll go. I don't know. I don't really have any interest in seeing
Here's
the
a question.
jungle.
Which cartoon was it?
I think it was like the long running one, right?
Like the 80s, 90s one?
I think it was a 90s one with Starscream and yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. There was like a 2000s cartoon run where they also had like little robot friends that they
I remember those, but
Not that one. There's
I
also
think I watched
Beast
both.
Yeah, okay.
I
There's
didn't watch
also
the one
Beast
with the-
Wars. Did
You
ever
watched
watch
Beast Wars?
Or
Was it good?
Yeah. It was awesome. It's awesome. And I'm excited to see those characters come. Rise of the Beast, is that the new Transformers?
Are you going to
movie?
go see that?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Beast
I
Wars,
didn't
it's
have any
great.
interest. I have no concept of the Transformers turning into giant animals.
I haven't watched it since like 1996. So, but I used to collect some of the toys, and they would. It was
Toys
fucking
were
awesome.
the best, bro. I do remember the mini ones that you're talking about. Maybe that is the one I watched.
I didn't really love that cartoon, but I would watch it anyways.
I'd watch it religiously. Autobots roll out.
The last piece of news I have is so there's currently a discourse going on Twitter, a little bit of a discourse going on. Disney released a teaser for, I think it's an animated feature film called Wish, and people are talking about it because it's sort of adopted this 2D storybook painted kind of look that has been popularized by Across the Spider-Verse, by Puss in Boots.
They're riding trends.
Yeah, they're riding trends. Are they having an identity crisis? Also, it doesn't look as well executed. And
Well,
so that's what
you
a lot of
sent
the
it to me, and I
discussion's
was
on.
almost confused. I was like, "Is this the same animation style? It doesn't
Yeah.
look good."
It's just like there's like distinct, there's like line work around sort of the edges of the characters. Yeah.
I think when you're a company that's as old and been around as long as Disney, you're bound to go through these identity crises, these trend riders. I mean, in rap, that's something Drake would do all the time. Like, there's like a new style, and he would fucking start rapping like that. You know, there's part of me that's like, I appreciate them keeping up with the times, but at the same time, I don't know. It didn't look. If it looked like a Spider-Verse or a Puss in Boots, maybe I'd feel differently, but it really didn't even have the same feel. Like it
just didn't look as well.
It also didn't fit. Like, I feel like it's like a comic book fit. Maybe it's just because we really started with Spider-Verse, but it feels like a comic book action-y, anime-esque sort of style. Like, what is Wish about? It doesn't feel like it fits with that style. You know what I mean?
Maybe we're discrediting it, but go check out the teaser for it. It should be on YouTube. It's called Wish, but people are debating its merits.
And then only
on
for
Twitter.
fans that are watching the visual and stuck around to the end here, me and Evan had no idea we were twinning today, that we're wearing the same hat and just a black shirt. Like, what the heck? And black headphones. We look, dude, what? Do you still have these clear glasses? You should have thrown these on. Oh my God. Do you have them right there? Shut up. Look at that.
Oh,
We're twins.
yeah. There we go. They're too
twins.
reflective. I didn't get the anti whatever on these lenses, so
I don't have that either. What's it called? Maybe I do.
anti-glare. I don't know. I'll leave them on
Nice. Yeah.
for the rest of this record.
That's all the news I have, though. You have anything else?
You sent me this one. Josh Gad has reportedly been cast in Wonder Man. I'm not super familiar with the Wonder Man character.
Is it an animated movie? Is he about to lose a ton of weight? What's going on
No,
here?
it just says been cast in. I don't think it cast as.
Oh, I read it as he was cast as Wonder Man. No, you're right. It's cast in Wonder Man.
Maybe. What if Josh Gad gets super fucking jacked?
That's actually what I was thinking and hoping. I was like, are we going to get another Chris Pratt where everyone was like, Andy's going to be Star-Lord?
What if both Josh Gad and Mila Kunis both get super jacked for Marvel roles?
Mila
pretty
Kunis is
great.
like, this is no CGI. It's all practical.
That's all the news I have.
Yeah. We've beat this chicken like a dead horse. I don't think there's anything else we can get out of this movie.
For sure. Oh, no. The other big discussion going on right now is the promotional poster for Little Mermaid. There's a character poster for Flounder. Have you seen it?
Oh my God, Evan, I can't believe I missed this. There's a flounder in Chicken Little. When they're driving, when he's driving his son to the bus stop, one of the cars is just a fish tank and it rounds the corner and it is Flounder. And it reminded me of how bad this fucking guy was. Wait, can you do the other photo? Do you see it to the right? That's the, like, come on. It doesn't look anything like him.
Yeah. It's something else. So there's our good old pal
There's a flounder in Chicken Little, though. I'm so mad I forgot to bring it up. Thank you for saying this. Oh my God.
It's pretty terrifying.
Here's my question. Do you go full fish and fix his fucking hair, or do you make it a little more animated and goofy?
I think animated and goofy. Like, he's got
agree.
this little lick of hair. Like, that's unsettling.
Well, I just don't know I've ever seen a fish smile at me like that. It's really haunting, if I'm being honest.
He's got those DSLs right there.
It reminds me of if you're like stoned and you're staring at like the live action Lion King movie. This looks so unsettling to me right now. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's what I'm looking at when I see that fucking fish.
Okay,
The
so apparently
crab's
this is
fine.
Sebastian. Yeah, that
That's
looks
fine.
cool. Okay, this is what I was looking for. This is fan art, you know.
I mean, this is better, but like still kind
Also
of terrifying, if I'm being
Still
honest.
nightmare inducing. So is there a good way to do Flounder? Probably not. I don't know.
Oh man.
They did a whole fucking Pixar movie of like pretty realistic looking fish. Like, I feel like there's a world where you can merge
Sure.
sort
I don't
of
know.
those styles.
This is
you
what
know?
people talk about when they talk about the uncanny valley, though, I feel like, and CGI.
Oh, for sure.
And this is what's so disheartening is I feel like we passed this era of CGI almost. Like we got through all the rough computer generated stuff, and somehow we've circled back to that. And part of it is Marvel, pushing these visual effects artists past their limit. But like, who signed? It goes back. Oh, I think you tweeted this. Ugly Sonic. This is the same problem Ugly Sonic had, and they were like, okay, we got to make him a little less realistic, and it looked way better.
Who knows what they're doing?
Ugly Sonic is terrible. I can't believe, like, this is what I'm saying. Flounder's not the main character, but like Ugly Sonic, like that passed so many people for them to be like, yeah let's show it. Yeah, let's show it. Yeah, let's show it. Sonic is on my mind because of Jury Duty. If you've watched that, it's so fucking funny.
It's been a while since we've looked at this guy, the screen share.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I salute you, brother. You walked so Flounder could fucking run. I am gonna see it. Haley wants.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Little Mermaid's good.
It's coming out like soon, a couple weeks.
What's the actress's name? Oh. Is it Halle or Chloe Bailey?
Halle Berry. It's not Haley Berry. Is it Halle? I swear it looks just like Halle. It looks just like the name, and it really throws me off if I'm being honest. Okay. And it's
Halle.
It's very
Halle Bailey.
It's why Michael B. Jordan keeps the B.
Well, her last name's not Barry. It's Bailey.
Okay, she should change it. Or she needs to add the middle initial, I think.
Or she has to have her sister with her at all times.
Yes, so that's maybe the other thing is, I don't know, I've heard it spoken out loud till we just did this. I'm a guy on Twitter. I read these things. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's the other thing is people act like Halle Bailey is world-renowned superstar. Never heard of her before.
She's pretty popular. I think she's like...
Didn't hear about her till she got cast in this movie. What else is she in?
Yeah. No, she's a singer. They're singers. Beyonce discovered them.
Oh, like pop... Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah. When you said singer, I'm like... Never mind. I was not picturing like an artist. I don't know. I was picturing like a nightclub singer, Evan. I'm so sorry. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
She was busking at Grand Central Station. She got picked up by Disney. No.
I was literally like, what? There's not like, what are you talking about? She's a singer, but I'm sorry. She's like I get what you mean now. Okay.
So if it isn't evident enough, we are two 30-year-old guys. Like we're not super plugged in. Unless it has to do with superhero movies, we're not plugged in whatsoever. It's a limitation of the pod. But according to our podcast stats, our demographic is primarily 25 to 34-year-olds. So we know
we're speaking to the right crowd. We are speaking to the right crowd. I'm going to wrap up here. Do you have anything else? We're so off topic.
Yeah. Before you go into your whole spiel, if you're loving the pod, hey, send it to someone. Share an episode you like about a movie you love or a movie you hate. Send it to someone. That helps a lot. And then I'll let Alex take it away with the rest.
Yeah. No, Evan's so right. Thank you. We appreciate you listening. But yeah, we're on a path of growth. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe. If you're a casual listener, send it to someone. We always greatly appreciate that. But like I said, we mostly appreciate you just coming and listening to us every other week. So if you are looking for more Two Dudes, though, please check out our other episodes on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. We have an extensive back catalog of stuff that I guarantee you're going to like. And please follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Two Dudes Watch Cartoons and over on Twitter at Two Dudes Watch. And like I said before, please, like, follow, subscribe, wherever you're watching. Leave a review, rate and review. But thank you for being here. Thank you for just listening to us bullshit about these movies. We hope you have fun with it. We have such a blast. This has been Chicken Little, kind of. We talked about this movie, right?
Yeah, we said everything that there is to be said about that.
We said what needed to be said about it.
If it is to be said, so it be said, or whatever that line is.
The Greg quote. If it is to be said, so it be said. I don't even know. It's so awkward.
All right. That'll do it for this episode of Two Dudes Watch Cartoons. We will catch you next time.
Two dudes watch cartoons.